What's up, gamers? ZFarls back here with the SACH podcast. Back here, not talking about Madden today, but instead going to jump into some other topics. And specifically, the main thing of the focus today would be Clash of Clans. Now, this is a game which is available on iOS and is available on Android. I have it for iPad and Galaxy 3. And basically, it's a game that I saw a commercial for, I think, during some of the football games, and I was like, that commercial looks pretty cool. It looked kind of cartoony. It looked like had some barbarians and some archers and some different things. And I was kind of like, could this be a game that I would like? Usually, absolutely not. I mean, basically, I stick to sports games and, you know, the big titles of the year, the Halos, Call of Duties, don't really venture too far out of that realm. Definitely don't play anything like League of Legends or World of Warcraft or Lord of the Rings Online or anything. Just never tickled my fancy, and, you know, judging from some of my friends that got really hooked into those games, probably a good thing at the end of the day because I don't have the time or the resources to sink into those games as much as I would like. I mean, I'm sure I would like them if I got into them, but, you know, don't have the time, fortunately. It's a decision I've made, and I've stuck with it, and I'm okay with it. Now, I downloaded Clash of Clans on Friday. I asked on Twitter, and some people came back with good responses, said it was a lot of fun, so I was like, you know what? I'll check out Clash of Clans this weekend, and it was a long weekend, so I figured, why not? I'll have some time, and I can hopefully get into it and figure out what it's all about. Now, you know, my other mobile games that I play, basically I played Candy Crush, got to like level 2, maybe 170-something, and honestly I quit cold turkey. I mean, it was fun. I'm not a huge puzzle gamer guy, but I really enjoyed the challenge of it. I liked how it advanced and brought you up. I didn't mind the structure of the free-to-play, where you can pay for lives and stuff. I enjoyed it, but ultimately I caught up to some of my friends and figured there's basically no endpoint with all these upgrades to the levels, and I just quit cold turkey. I've got a new phone. In Halloween, I haven't played it. I don't even have it on the new phone, so I haven't played it since, like, June. But I was playing it almost daily, so it was a great, like, time killer game, great airplane game. But I was looking for something fresh, and this Clash of Clans really caught my eye. And I don't know if it's because I've been playing a lot of Civilization, which is a good game, but Clash of Clans definitely caught my eye for some reason. You guys told me it was good on Twitter, so I appreciate you guys that recommended it to me, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it today. So if you don't know much about it, basically you start out with a tutorial, and you can play on both your iPad and on your Droid. So that was what basically sold me on it. I wasn't going to play if I could only play on iPad because I don't have Wi-Fi everywhere. I don't, I'd like to have it on my phone, but then I was like, if I can have two separate accounts, one on an iPad, one on Droid, then that's useless to me. So fortunately, you can just link your two devices and they can be on the same account. So that's great. So I can play my iPad at my house. It's bigger. You can see more of the screen and everything. It's easier to maneuver. But if I'm out on the road, I can play on my phone, and you can basically, it's the same exact experience. It's a little smaller, but it works just fine. But all things equal, you'd play iPad. But, that way if I'm out of the store and I have some things to upgrade, I'm able to do that on my phone. So, I was up late really last night playing this game, so I definitely wanted to talk about it. I could have done this podcast last night at about 2 in the morning. When I went to bed, I pretty much laid there until about 3:30, and I was so fired up to talk about it, but I couldn't sleep, obviously, and now I'm up, and just putting this coffee down, so hopefully this podcast will get better as it goes along, but I'm going to continue here to talk about Clash of Clans. So, like I said, you basically start out with a little townhouse in the middle. It's a little bit like Civ, but not quite Civilization. So basically you start out with this little townhouse, and you have some mines that can mine basically elixir, which helps you build things, and then you have mines that mine gold, and gold helps you build, defenses and different things to defend your city from attack. So there's basically 2 points to the game. One is to not let your city get attacked. you're building this little, they give you this little plot of land, and if you're watching this, I'm going to do this on YouTube, and I'm going to do this on just podcast. If you're listening, you won't have the visuals, but if you're looking at the podcast, I'll basically be able to show you what my city looks like so far. So you get this big plot of land, and when you put down your townhouse, your town hall, you can start to build up things around it. You can build up these elixir resources. Basically, you need something to mine and something to store. So you got to mine out this stuff out of the ground, and then you got to store it. You got to mine your gold out of the ground, and then you got to store it. And, the longer you play, the more levels you build up, and the more your elixir you're able to mine and you're able to store. Now, what I like about this is it's time-based. So if you want to build a new storage, it takes maybe 5 minutes at the early levels. So you have these builders that can build all these things. You can have up to 5, but at the start of the game you only have 1 or 2. And basically, these builders can only work on one project at a time. So it's free to play. So the game's completely free to play. However, it's like Candy Crush in a way because you're limited by time. So if you start a project, you then got to wait maybe 5 or 10 minutes until that project finishes to do something else. If you want to build troops, it takes time for those troops to be built. It costs elixir, which takes time to build up the elixir. So it's a very good balance of, it's free to play. You can buy these gems, which you can turn into golden elixir, or you can buy more builders with. And, I ended up buying some the first couple days just because I said, hey, I like this game a lot. It's free. I don't mind paying $4.99 or $9.99 to get some added-on stuff in game. It's not like I paid $19.99 and then this game cost me more to play. It's free. It's completely free if I want, but I'm looking for a faster experience. I'm looking to enjoy this and pay a couple bucks to get some gems. So you earn gems as you play the game, but you can also go out and buy them, which is give me the option. Give me the option. Nobody says you got to do it, but hey, I'm an adult. I'm a grown-up, spend money on things that I like, and I've been enjoying it. So, paid a couple bucks. Now, as you continue to go, you have a shield, basically. So, you can only be attacked when you're not playing the game. So, if you're offline, you can be attacked by people. And what's cool is when you come back, you can see who attacked you, what units they used, what type of enemies came into your camp and tried to get your resources or tried to destroy your building, and you can actually watch a full replay of what happened. So if somebody attacked you, you get to actually see the replay of everything that happened when they attacked you, where they started from, what your cannons did they fire on the guy, did your archers shoot him down, what happened, where are you weak, where does the opponent think you're weak, etc. Did your walls hold up? And what I like about it is the game, if you lose a battle, it doesn't hurt you. I mean, you might lose a little bit of golden elixir, but you don't lose everything. Your structures don't need to be rebuilt. So you're not wasting more time if somebody attacks you. So it's not frustrating if somebody attacks you. Yeah, you lose, there's some trophies and some almost like skill points in Madden where, okay, you lose a couple skill points or you gain a couple skill points depending on if the attack was successful or not. But for the most part, it's not like a hassle like, oh man, I just got my whole city taken down. Now I got to spend a day rebuilding it. That doesn't happen. It rebuilds automatically, which is great. So that's a good move by the team there to make sure, because if every time you log in, your city's destroyed, then you're going to quit pretty fast. So if you do get destroyed, it gives you a shield, which you can't be attacked. You rebuild it right away, and then you get back to playing the game, which is nice. Some other things I like about it, basically, as you level up your townhouse, there's 10 levels of townhouse that you can go with. I'm currently at level 4, so I got to level 4 after about 3 days. It took 24 hours for the 4th level to be built, so it took a while, so I had to commit one builder to this 24-hour task, and I had to wait the whole time, just building up stuff around it as we went. But I was able to get to level 4, and that seems like where the fun starts. So you basically have a 3-day window of a grace period where nobody can attack you when you start this game, which is convenient because you don't want people attacking you when you're still like level 1 and just trying to learn the game. But for the most part, it was pretty easy to get started. And I like that, you can really customize your base however you want. So I currently have walls, as you'll see if you're watching this on YouTube. I have walls built around my archer towers, my cannons, and my townhouse, and then I have, some different units on the outside that don't really need to be protected because they're not that valuable. And I can change it at any time. I can change the walls if I see something on an attack where, okay, it looks like I'm actually weak there. It seems like opponents are targeting me with air units in the top right corner. I can put I can move my air defense, the next time I log in and change it up. So there's a lot of cool elements like that. You could build defenses however you want. It's got a really good single player campaign to start. So there's basically multiplayer and single player when you want to attack somebody. If you're playing multiplayer, you click to find a match. It shows you an enemy's base, and you can choose if you want to attack it or if you want to search for another match, which is a great system because you can see if somebody has good gold or good elixir before you go in and attack. Because once again, you spend your units. It costs money to build those units. So if you're going to attack, you want to make sure you're getting something back from those units. Single player is very similar. That's where I started because when you have your shield up, you don't want to play multiplayer because it can, people can then attack you back. So you don't want to do that until your shield ends on the first day, a couple days. So I started playing single player to kind of learn some of the battle, and the single player missions do a good job of teaching you, okay, well this thing has 2 cannons, so you need to, you got to kind of figure out, okay, well if I run right at 2 cannons, I die, but if I go for 1 at a time, it's better. Okay, this one has, heavy walls, so I need if I go with these guys, these work better on walls, whereas this other type of unit that I have, the barbarians, don't really do good against the walls. This one you need an aerial attack. It makes it a lot easier if you have an aerial attack on this specific map. So you kind of learn the strategy of the units by playing the single player. It also gives you good gold and elixir early in the game while you're trying to build up your guys and you're trying to get everything situated at your home base, because as soon as that shield comes off, you could potentially be attacked. Now, once you get up, once you play for 2-3 days, you kind of figure everything out, which is great. And then you get this clan base, which it's this little unit that's a clan castle. You can click it and you can join a clan. So there's up to 50 people in a clan, and what clans do is they basically people can provide you with troops if they're in the same clan as you. So if you have a clan, you're able to get troops from people. You're able to donate troops to other people, and the clan castle makes your base better defended because units can come out of it, and then if you're on the attack, you can actually use the clan castle units that people have given you in those attacks. So what's great is when you're on and you're playing, you're going after other people, you're looking for gold, you're looking for elixir. Most of the time, you're just kind of waiting to build up your stuff, but you're always looking to attack. And then when you're offline, you can then be attacked. So when you come back, you'll get to see if your base held up and, if you gained any trophies because people tried to attack you, but you were able to hold them off. So there's a lot to like about this game. And, I have no problem with free-to-play just in general. It doesn't really matter what type of free-to-play it is. I think there's a place for these games, and I'm really currently liking this game. Like I said, I liked Candy Crush. You don't have to pony up if you don't want. There's a game, New Star Soccer, on the iPad that I played a lot of, and, let me try it. Let me try it. If it's free, I'll download it. I don't like, if this game was if it was $1, I'd download it, but what's $1 going to do for these guys when you're already willing to pay in game? So if this game's $4.99, I probably don't buy it, just because I would have done more research. Not that $4.99's a lot. I've already spent more than that in the game already, even though it was free. But it's just like, I don't really know if I like this, or I love that you just get to try it and then you're able to kind of, build upon it. So that's what's clutch. Now, that's, I'd like to just give a couple shout-outs to some resources if you want to try this game. So if you want to try this game, it's called Clash of Clans. Once again, you download it. You can download it on your iPad, or your iPhone or your Android, and you can play on multiple accounts, like I said. So you just use the link account and basically do the tutorial on both. Start on one account, the main one you want, and then start playing on your other thing. Then you can start playing on your other device, then you can link the accounts, and that way you'll have just one account, which is clutch, like I said. And you can go over to, I've been using basically clashofclans.wikia.com. So this guy Flammy has a strategy guide there that just kind of teaches you. He's got 6 chapters in his guide. Chapter 1, Total Newbie Guide. Chapter 2, Base Defense Tactics. Chapter 3, Advanced Base Defense. Chapter 4, Unit Strengths, AI, and Pathfinding Guide. Like I said, you figure most of it out, but I've attacked people who, there's it's edges of the map. So you think, oh, well, if I put my base right near the edge of the map, nobody's going to be able to attack me because, they're going to have to come from the inside out. But no, that's not how it works. You can just simply place your troops on the outside and they'll run right to the base. So it seems like a good idea, but once you start to place, you realize, oh, okay, if I put my base there, then that's actually dumb. Or I've been seeing people, builder huts are the other really valuable things that you need if you want to become a top player. You need all 5 builders going on at once. So you'd think that, okay, well, this builder hut that I have to put down to get a builder is super important. I want to protect it. When, like I said, you don't lose items if you get attacked. If you get attacked, you don't actually lose the builder huts. They go away for that round, but then they come right back, and you don't have to pay anything to get them back. So I think people might think, oh, well, those cost me gems. Those are really, really valuable. I need to protect them. But you don't actually lose them. So, you don't want to even protect the builder units. Hey, you just put them out there. Who cares if they get crashed? What you want to protect is your gold and your elixir. So, there's small things that you want to learn about the game that, obviously make it easier. Then there's more intense stuff about leveling up. When should you level your town hall? When should you level your archer towers and your defense? Your mortars. You can level up units. So it gets super more in depth. I'm not even at that level yet. I'm still at Town Hall 4. And I'm just kind of working on leveling up my walls. Walls are really expensive, though. But, I'm learning that when I sign off for a while and go to sleep or something, I don't want to leave huge amounts of gold in my storage, because then if I'm offline, people can attack. They'll see that I have a lot of gold. They'll come at me. So what I can do is just buy a bunch of walls before I go to bed. You're going to eventually need walls. The walls are pretty expensive, so if I have 39,000 gold like I do right now, before I sign off, maybe buy. That'll get me, X amount of walls. Level up my walls. Leave 0 gold in the coffers, or leave 500 gold in the coffers, and make yourself not a pretty target to be attacked. So there's tons of little stuff that I'm learning that I'm really liking about it, and I'm still want to if you guys that are listening to this are good at the game, let me know how my base looks here on YouTube. I can post a picture of it as well. If you want to help out and you're just listening to the podcast, I can post a picture of my base. I've been, another thing that's really cool, I know I'm just kind of going random off here, but you can watch other people's replays of their attacks. As I get my coffee fix here, you can watch the replays of other people's attacks, which is great. And you can also view other people's bases. So you can click on, the leaderboards. There's great leaderboards. It's a really cool trophy system. There's leagues, there's clans, there's top players. So I can click on the top player in the world right now, Mohammed Mayher or Baby Runka, and I can basically visit their clan, or visit their house, whatever you want to call it, and I can see exactly what they're doing. So, the top players, it doesn't really help me quite now, because, when I visit their city, I see a lot of items that I don't even have unlocked yet, or I don't quite know what they are. I don't have these giant robot things that they have. I don't have Dark Elixir yet or anything. So, but generally I can get a good idea of their strategy, of how they have their walls built, which is a nice little feature of this game. Getting to look in on everybody and seeing what's going on. I like the ability to join a clan. I'm looking to join, I just joined a random one for right now, but there's some good clans on Reddit. I'd like to give them a shout out because they have some good information on their site too. Basically Reddit / Clash of Clans. There's a lot of good info I've been reading there too. So you want to check that out as well. Now, hopefully I'll be able to join a clan where I know some of the people, or people tend to give better units than some of the ones I'm getting because I'm not just a random person. Then there's a level system with achievements where you can get XP for everything you do in the game. Then there's trophies, which, like I said, are skill points. So there's a ton going on in this little game. The ease of control to move your stuff around is brilliant on the iPad and on the phone. I mean, you can model your whole city pretty quickly, and you can always be tweaking things. Easy to click in, easy to build units, easy touch controls. So great job by the team there. So like I said, check out Clash of Clans. If you already play it, check out my city, give me tips, and let me join your clan. Other than that, all I can say is download it. It's free. And when you're doing the tutorials, it'll say, do you want to rush with gems? Do not rush with gems during the tutorials. Just it'll take a minute, but do it slow. Don't hurry up when you do that, because you'll save your gems for those builder huts that I talked about. But it's pretty much it for my Clash of Clans right now. I've been wrecking people. I never really feel that confident in multiplayer just because if I'm new to a game, I know how good some people can be at certain games. Certainly with how good how much we play Madden, how solid we are at Madden, we know, what it takes to play at a high level, I guess you would say. But when you get started, you'll see, with just reading these little guides real quick, you'll get a million times better. I mean, you'll see people do stuff when you attack them, and you're like, what? Like, do they think it's crazy. It's crazy. So you can get pretty good at the lower levels. I'm at, like I said, Town Hall 4. I want to get to 7. I hear 7's a really good spot to be. But I heard that you don't want to rush. So some people say you want to rush, some people you don't want to rush. It just gives you more to think about, more to read on. So that's basically all I got for Clash of Clans. 2 other things I want to talk about real quick. This weekend the Seahawks go to the Super Bowl. You got Richard Sherman going ham on the interview. It's all anyone can talk about. Why am I going to throw all my 2 cents? Nobody else can stop talking about it. Why not, right? Basically, what I'll say is, why can't he talk trash? I mean, I think I forget with football exactly how many people watch the conference championships and Super Bowl, and just how much the average fan doesn't really know anything about the players in those games. I mean, every NFL fan knows Peyton. Every person almost in America probably knows Peyton Manning from Papa John's. Just kidding. But, they probably know Peyton Manning because he's been in so many big games, been in Super Bowls. They know Tom Brady. But the average person has no idea who LeGarrette Blount is, has no idea who Stephen Ridley is, has no idea who... I was watching the game with people who really like sports, and they were thinking Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie was the same as Antonio Cromartie. And I realized that not everyone knows he's 6'2" and has 98 speed, like is a common knowledge stat that's in my brain from Madden. So, when my girlfriend and mom are watching the game, and Richard Sherman yells right after the game, they're like, "Oh my God, who's this guy?" Whereas, I know him as I know that he likes to talk. Why can't he talk trash? Same thing. My dad was. After golf one day, we were watching Johnny Manziel, the half that he came back from suspension, threw a crap load of touchdowns, did the money signs. My dad said, "Gosh, I don't like Johnny Manziel. He's a punk." Same thing that my mom said about Sherman. Just like why is this guy yelling on TV? Doesn't he have any class? Same thing my dad said about Johnny Manziel. Win with class. Basically, I'm defending both of them. Like, why Johnny Manziel? Kid's 20. I think he might be 21. Who knows? Goes to Texas A&M. Won the Heisman as a freshman. Won 10 games. I mean, yeah, you can, you don't want to see anyone bring added pressure to themselves by hot dogging it. And I know old people hate when people hot dog it. But why, guy talks trash. Guy just made a play to send his team to the Super Bowl. First of all, he interviewed him 2 seconds after the game. I don't even think he shook hands. Like, they got to him. Aaron Andrews got to him for, he doesn't say that. He doesn't do the same wrestling promo to, after they present the trophy. I mean, if Aaron Andrews interviews him after they present the trophy, there's no way he goes full Macho Man like he did. So it's almost the fault of the access as well. And then you got people saying, all they do is talking cliches, and then he actually says, I still think he was hamming it up. I know he was having like a real moment because it was so raw, but I still think that's a persona, and it's great. I mean, look at all the press and all that. People can't separate the difference, and now he's a heel, and it's great. I mean, it's good. I just don't understand why it's not good for the sport. Some people are going to go about their business a certain way. Other people are going to hot dog it. There's been plenty of people who have been successful when hot dogging it. Deion Sanders. You got Manziel tearing it up in college. Sherman. Larry Bird was one of the biggest trash talkers of all time. Yeah, he did it more quietly. Jordan, I'm sure, talked his fair share of trash. Then you got guys who go about it a different way. That's cool, too. But I just don't understand the ridiculous backlash of people that just got to chill out. I mean, it's all very interesting, But that's enough of social commentary on that story from me. I just don't. Who's got who gets that sore about it? I mean, yeah, if I was a Niner fan, I'd be probably pretty mad. But that's just because he made a great play. I mean, guy made the play. So what are you going to do? Now, last thing I wanted to make a note about was this Grantland story. So basically, Grantland's a ESPN website where they do like long-form essays and stories that Bill Simmons runs. And I kept seeing on Twitter, you catch something on Twitter, but you don't really read it. And then, like, you see it a second time, and you're like, oh, I should probably read that. And then you see it a third time, and you're like, oh, I wonder what's going on with that. And then, somebody say, hey, did you see that? And you're like, no, I saw it. I didn't click it. I didn't read it, but I heard about it. Like J.R. Smith. Like the J.R. Smith shoe tying thing. I saw 8 people link out a video of J.R. Smith tying some guy's shoe together. So I knew J.R. Smith tied a guy's shoe together, but I never watched the video of J.R. Smith tying a guy's shoe together. Essentially, it's how Twitter works. So, same thing kept happening with this putter, this Dr. V's magical putter. So there's a story on Grantland. Let's get these facts right here. The initial story was written by Caleb Hannon on January 15th, which was, I think, last Wednesday. And, I didn't read it then. And then I kept seeing these tweets on Monday night. So it was Monday night. I was too busy playing Clash of Clans all weekend, didn't read anything. I'm just reading I read this guy's story. It's about 6,000 words. I don't know. That's not an exact number, but there's a lot of words about the golf club. And basically this entire story, I guess the shortened version would be, this guy was researching a golf club. So there's a golf club a new putter, created by a scientist that has true science and physics behind it, and makes it easier to putt, and is a great putter. So, selling a lot of putters, a lot of science behind it. The person who made it, Dr. V, was a scientist, and that's where it starts. That's where you think the story is going. So this guy calls the lady and is researching this putter. And from there, it basically spirals out of control. The shortened version, to the best of my paraphrasing knowledge, would be the lady didn't actually have the credentials she said she had. From there, it turns out the identity is mistaken. There's you got to read it, but there's some gender stuff in there. And then at the end, unfortunately, the lady ends up committing suicide, and that's how the story ends. So I'm reading this, I'm like, whoa. And that's, I figured, why people were talking about it. And then it just turns out that people are, there's more to read about it. So now I'm reading the main story, and when I read it, I thought, okay, this is kind of a crazy story. Probably not the best, maybe too soon type thing. I don't know. Something rubbed me weird, but I didn't have enough knowledge to put it into words, and I think some other people did a good job doing that. So the first piece that I read after was by Christina Carl, and the article's titled "What Grantland Got Wrong," and it kind of just breaks down the article. Kind of gives you where the guy messed up and how he did it wrong, and how he could have done it better, and how, at least from that I learned, about there's a very high suicide rate amongst, let's see here. The quote from her article is, suicide attempts outpace the national average almost 26 times over, perhaps as high as 41% of all trans people. So that's a quote from the article. So, now I'm learning about this stuff, just never come across. And so at least it opened up my eyes to that. So, but her article, it didn't really resonate with me. I felt like she was just kind of more angry, but I did read some other great articles from other blogs. Let me see here. So she wrote that. Then Bill Simmons wrote a rebuttal, which I read, that basically gave you the whole series of why they chose to publish it, how many people read it before they published it, what they, hindsight is 20/20 type piece with looking back on it, and that whole thing. So I don't know. I mean, it was an interesting thing. I learned a lot, and I mean, this whole journalism thing. I was a communications major, so I guess it's fairly interesting to me, like how much digging, is allowed. And I didn't personally read the piece with that lens. Like when I read that piece, I didn't feel that he was disrespecting the lady, but I don't know. Then I read some more, and I definitely got my eyes opened. So that's something cool to check out. Just the whole story in general is just like it's crazy. It's just a crazy story. Like I said, there's some other blogs though that wrote other pieces on it, so I have to find them. I lost them, but some really good stuff about this putter, and obviously the story's not at all about the putter as it started out to be. So definitely worth reading. Richard Deach on Twitter posted another story. That's where I got the link from, like, two other blogs, and I kind of went down like a blog trail of, okay, this person here, and then I read another post, and those were actually better, in my opinion, than the Carl piece, even though it was a good piece. Those helped my attention more. So now that I've basically made no sense for the last 20 minutes on Sherman and putters, I'm just going to go back to Clash of Clans, because I don't have to think when I talk about Clash of Clans. I just think about how fun it is and the easy stuff in life. So check out Clash of Clans. Let me know. Like I said, let me join your clan. Let me get in that base, son. And we are looking forward to keeping up the SACH podcast here. Once again, let me know if you like it on Twitter or like it on YouTube. And this one, the Madden ones I've been trying to put some visual stuff. This one, a little tougher with visual, just because I can't get my iPad to go on a Clash of Clans, but I'll put images up of my base. And, some people just like to listen through YouTube. Some people like to download the link on the site or something like that. So it's really just however you guys consume this thing, just do me a quick favor and just let me know how you like to consume this podcast, and that way I can make sure I keep putting it in the format that you want. I'm not going to keep putting it in. I won't keep doing multiple formats if you're only watching it really one way. So sounds good, and let me know if you have any questions. Look forward to talking to you guys soon. ZFarls, out!